Hello once again, all my comic collecting friends in the YouTube comic community. It's Matt, Comic Order 410, here today to do my entry video for my good friend Herohunter81's 900 subs contest. And congratulations, Clint. You deserve all those subs. You're almost up to 950, I just saw. And if you're watching me, I'm sure you're subbed to Clint. He's one of the best members of this community. But if you're not subbed, please go remedy that right away, because he just has some of the most excellent videos. I'm always taking notes and learning not only good information from his videos, but seeing books that I need to pick up. So thank you for being a great part of this community, Clint. You have excellent collection, and these prizes that you're generous enough to give away are also amazing. And congrats to you again, my friend, for winning my giveaway. I think I sent you the tracking number. The books are in the mail. But Clint, he always comes up with great ideas for questions for his contest. The last one was he wanted to see undervalued keys, and I just learned so much, got so many good ideas from everyone's videos that entered, and it's the same with this contest, just getting a lot of great information from everybody's entry vids. But Clint wants to see rare books, and Clint, as usual, I went a little overboard, so I apologize if this runs long, but I'll try and move fast. Starting off, this is the Army of Darkness From the Ashes #1 Blood Red Foil variant by Arthur Soydam. And this is limited to 500 copies. This is the New Avengers Fantastic Four giveaway to the U.S. military. As you can see, not for resale. Marvel salutes the real heroes, the men and women of the U.S. military. I guess all these sketch covers are kind of rare because each one's unique. Will Sportaccio took this New Avengers #1 blank variant, took this weird podium thing at the bottom, and kind of turned it into a Captain America statue or bust, and I had to buy that when I saw it. This is the Avengers Invaders Alex Ross sketch variant. I believe this is a 1 in 50, I could be wrong. Didn't write down the issue number of this, and I have a lot of Whitman variants because I collect them. But this is not only one of my favorites, but it's in really nice condition with a beautiful Garcia Lopez cover that I got him to sign. But this is the Clear Circle Whitman logo, and it's one of, if not the most rare logo on the Whitman books. So that makes these pretty rare. There's individual ones from really obscure titles that are much more rare individually, but this logo is one of the hardest ones to find. So it's a pretty cool book. This is the All-Star Batman and Robin #8 sketch cover by Neil Adams, and I just love this optical illusion variant. I could stare at this cover for hours. Love that one. This is the All-Star Batman and Robin #10 recalled edition, and it was recalled for improperly edited obscenities, and Clint, you won one of these in my giveaway, so you got one coming to you, bud. This is the Battle of the Planets #1 Dynamic Forces Blue Foil Edition by Alex Ross, and I believe this was limited to 3,000 copies? 2,000 copies. So that's pretty rare. This is the Michael Turner Battlestar Galactica Virgin variant, and it was either a Philly or Baltimore Comic Con exclusive. This is the Frank Cho Virgin variant to Big Trouble in Little China #1. Beautiful cover there. This is the rarest of the Capcom Summer Special 2004 Summer Special editions. They had them at Wizard World, Philly, and Chicago, but this was given away at a gaming convention, so it's the hardest one to find. And this one's signed with a COA by Alvin Lee. So that's pretty cool. Took me a while to find that book. This is the Civil War #1 Aspen variant by Michael Turner. And these are rare to begin with. You had to get them at Wizard World Philly that year, and it was limited to either 3,000 or 5,000 copies. And not only is it a beautiful cover, but it's signed by Michael Turner and Peter Steigerwald, which, signatures from Michael Turner are pretty rare as well. This, I also have the #1 sketch variant. I'll show that later because it's slab, but this is the 1 in 75. I think it might be 1 in 100, but I believe they were 1 in 75. The Civil War #7 sketch variant to the final issue by Michael Turner. Conan the Barbarian #3, and the print run dropped off significantly on this book. So this one's a harder one to find, limited distribution. And I forgot, I do have the final issue of Conan, which is also kind of rare. I have a newsstand and a direct edition of that. This is the Conan number 24 nude variant. Very hard to find, sorry kitties. This is the Dawn Pinup Goddess limited edition, signed and numbered, limited to 3,500 copies by Joseph Michael Lenzner. This is my Daredevil 132 30-cent price variant. And again, I have a good bit of these Marvel 30-cent price variants, but I only pulled out a few that I either like or are a little more desirable. And this is a little more desirable because not only is this a 30-cent test variant, but it's a second appearance of Bullseye. This is Mark Waid and Barry Kitson's Empire number 1, and this is number 1 of the only 2 issues Image published, and they're a lot harder to find than the DC editions. This is a recent book. This is Enormous number 3, and again, this is a book where the print run dropped off a bit from 2 to 3 when Steam was picking up on this book, so they only printed 1,700 of first printings of Enormous 3, and it's a book people were trying to get. Not sure the print run on this, but it's very low. Very happy to have this. This is Gilbert Shelton's Adventures of Fat Freddy's Cat number 1, and it's in excellent condition, and you don't see first printings of these too often. This is also another rip-off press book by Gilbert Shelton, Wonder Warthog and the Battle of the Titans. It's an excellent copy, and this is not easy to come by either. This is Fantasy Quarterly featuring ElfQuest. Number 1, this is the first appearance of ElfQuest. Very rare and high grade, and pretty rare altogether. I need to look up and find the print run of this, but Richard and Wendy Peeney self-published it, and I know the print run was low, and it wasn't really distributed too far out east. Again, I got this book as a gift from my good buddy Michael Jocko, and this is Fathom number 14, and it's the one of only 2 books I have signed by Michael Turner. So thank you for that, Michael. This is Aardvark Vanaheim's Flaming Carrot number 1. Awesome Bob Burden cover. These, I don't know how low print run it is, but From Hell number 1, the first print, all the issues are hard to find in the wild because this is just one of those books that the people who bought them don't normally sell them. But this is the first print of Alan Moore's From Hell. Next up we have Friday the 13th. And this is the special Platinum Foil Edition. And I got it signed by Kane Hodder, who played Jason. This is a signed and remarked edition of G.I. Joe Special Missions number 1 by Mike Zack. And he drew that, that bust of Wetsuit there. Very happy to have that. He's one of my favorite artists. This book, I believe, is only a 1 in 10 or 1 in 25 variant. But it's a very expensive book to buy. It's one of the most sought-after variants DC's ever done. And this is the Ethan Van Sciver Batman Green Lantern number 9 variant, where Batman has the power ring. It's an excellent, beautiful cover. It's one of my favorite variant covers ever made. This is the Slave Labor Graphics number 1, Haunted Mansion number 1, and this is the red foil edition, cover by Dirge. Here we have World War Hulk number 1, and this is the Diamond Retailer Summit sketch cover by David Finch. And this is World War Hulk number 3, sketch cover by David Finch, and this was limited to either 3,000 or 5,000 copies and only available at Baltimore Comic Con that year. Sorry, moving over here. This is The Incredibles number 1, and this is the limited edition variant that was limited to only 500 copies. Sorry, somebody's alarm going off out there. This, I don't have the 500 copies variant to Incredibles 2, but this is the limited to 500 copies variant to Incredibles 3 by Thomas Scioli. It's made to look old and tattered. Very cool. And Mark Waid signed that for me. This is the final issue of Jonah Hex, issue 92. And as many books do, you know, they get canceled because they're not selling well, so the print runs really start to dwindle towards the final issue, and this is no exception. And this is a beautiful cover by the late, great Dennis Cohen, inked by Klaus Janson. This is the Injustice Gods Among Us #1 variant, and this one's a little harder to find, because to get this version, it only came with the expensive collector's edition of the video game that came with a little statue of Wonder Woman and Batman fighting on Superman's rocket. But I think to buy that, it was like $80 or $100 to buy that edition. So this book's sought after just the regular first print. This is the Justice League #1 RRP edition. So you can see, not for resale. You had to attend the Diamond Retailer Summit. This is my Justice League #3 Superman Comics test logo cover, and these there were only 5,000 of these printed. This is, sorry, let me make room here. This is my Marvel Zombies vs. Army of Darkness #1 variant by Arthur Soydam, and these were limited to, I think, 3,000 or 3,000 copies on these, and that's the homage to, I think it's Uncanny 137 or 136, but it's the Death of Jean Grey homage. And this is the limited to 3,000 copies variant to Marvel Zombies vs. Army of Darkness #3, with the homage to the Death of Captain Marvel graphic novel. This is kind of dingy because it's inside a poly bag, inside bag and board. But this is the Nightmare on Elm Street Avatar Comics Nightmare on Elm Street #1 Blood Red foil variant. Don't know how limited this is, but this is the Peanuts #1 Emerald City Comic Con variant, and just a big fan of Snoopy since I was a kid, so grab that up. This is the 2003 Eric Powell Chicago Convention sketchbook, and it's signed and numbered inside. It's limited to 3,000 copies. And this is his San Diego Comic Con sketchbook, again signed and numbered, limited to 3,000 copies. I guess this is what, 2008. This is low print run. It's not super valuable, but a very cool book in low print run. This is Scud the Disposable Assassin #1 by Fireman Press. It's hard to track down. This is the Burly Man Shaolin Cowboy #3 variant by Jean Gerard Mobius. This ties in with Matt Wagner's Grendel. It's Silverback. It's a 3-issue mini from Comico that tells the origin of his villain Argent, and due to legalities on the rights of the type of character Argent is based after, this has never been reprinted and probably never will. It's not too valuable, it's hard to find, and Matt Wagner signed mine this year. This is the Sin City Dame to Kill For #1. This is the special edition. It was an insert giveaway in something like Wizard Magazine or something else like that, or Star Wars Magazine, one or the other. That's a little harder to come by. This is George Perez Sirens #1. This was a Baltimore Comic Con exclusive, and this variant you had to get a VIP pass to get. And this is the other variant they were doing for George Perez Sirens #1 at Baltimore Comic Con. This is $6 Million Man Season 6 #1 sketch cover signed by James Kahurick, and Sean Chen did a Lee Majors sketch for me. Very nice guy. This is the Aspen Soulfire exclusive variant by Stormwatch Comics. It's limited to 700 copies, and it's signed by the Living Corpse team who did this beautiful cover. These are my Amazing Spider-Man 30-cent test cover variants. This is the test cover issue 155, 156, 158, and 159. This is Spider-Man Reign #1, And I don't know if they recalled this or just did a low print run of it, but there was controversy because this is basically kind of like a Dark Knight Returns type thing for Spider-Man. It's an excellent read, but there's a part in this issue that shows old man Peter Parker's little penis, and it was edited out of the second printing. People didn't like little Spidey getting showtime. Fans were offended. This is Ultimate Spider-Man 1/2, and this is signed by Brian Michael Bendis, limited to 1,962 copies. Oops. This is the 1 in 50 variant to Ultimate Spider-Man 104, and this is the issue where Mark Bagley and Brian Michael Bendis passed the record for the most consecutive issues by one creative team on a Marvel book, which was previously held by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby on Fantastic Four. This is the Dynamic Forces Street Fighter Zero sketch cover by Joe Madureira, and this is limited to 2,000 copies. This is the Power Foil cover to, I think this is Street Fighter 2 or 3, but it's M. Bison. Very cool cover. This is the retailer incentive variant to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 30th anniversary special, and just a beautiful cover here by Kevin Eastman and Simon Bisley. Love this variant. Got that at a half-price sale. I think this is like 10,000 or 15,000 copies, so it's not super rare, but this is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #2 second print, and I just love it because it's a beautiful wraparound cover by Richard Corbin doing the Turtles. Gotta love it. This, again, kind of dingy because it's inside, you know, it's still sealed in its original poly bag, and then it's inside a bag and a board, but this is Avatar's Texas Chainsaw Massacre #1 red foil variant. This is the final issue of Transformers, issue number 80. Very low print run on that. These are the most two rare Dreamwave Transformers issue. This preview, I believe, was 1 per store. And this is when they find Optimus Prime in the ice. And this Pat Lee series was red hot when it first came out, and then he turned out to be a dick and the company folded. This is the most rare of them. This is the retailer incentive the retailer incentive variant to Dreamwave Transformers #1, and I believe this is maybe like 1 in 50, 1 in 100, and has Devastator fighting Superion with Thundercracker and Starscream looking on. Very cool cover. Speaking of cool covers, I had to get this. This is the Dynamic Forces. This is volume 2 of Dreamwave Transformers #1, but this is the Dynamic Forces purple foil variant with this incredible Bill Sienkiewicz cover of Shockwave, Deck, and Megatron. Had to buy that. And this was limited to 2,000 copies. And to my knowledge, the only time Bill Sienkiewicz drew Transformers. This is Transformers Infiltration #2, retailer incentive variant. Just a beautiful cover of Starscream by Guido Guidi. This is the Uber #4 Night Terror variant, and it's limited to 1,000 copies. Really enjoying this series. And this is the Uber Special #1 Grim Reaper variant, and it's limited to just 500 copies. This is Marvel Ultimatum #1, and this was either a 1 in 75 or 1 in 100 variant here. It's the Voltron Defender of the Universe #1 by Image. This is the Carrie Andrews foil variant. Very cool cover. This is the Dynamite Voltron #1. This is called the Red Fire sketch cover by Sean Chen, and I got him to sign that. This is the Voltron Year 1 Virgin variant by Alex Ross. Awesome cover there. And I forget who did this. I'm going to be honest. It's escaped my mind who did this variant, but this is the other Voltron Year 1 Virgin cover. This is the Walking Dead '94 Image Expo exclusive variant. And just got Michonne getting manhandled by a bunch of zombies. It's a gift from a friend. This is my Origin 2 #1 sketch cover of Wolverine by the great Herb Trimpe. Was so happy to get this year. Fortunately got a small bend at the top, but them's are the breaks. This is the Wolverine Origins #1 Wizard World Philadelphia exclusive Michael Turner sketch cover. It's a beautiful cover. This is the Wizard World Texas David Finch variant to Wolverine the End #1. Paul Jenkins signed that, and I wasn't able to get to David Finch to get him to sign it, but I hopefully will next year. This is the Death of Wolverine Desert Wind variant to #1, signed by Charles Soule and Herb Trimpe, and this was limited to 3,000 copies. And this book was so hot back in the day when it came out. It was Wizard always did their hot books of the month, and it was #1 month after month after month. This was worth a lot of money back then. It's not worth that much now, but this is the X-Files #1 black and white ash can edition. Cool book. Alright. God, sorry this is running so long, Clint. These are my Grifter She hardcovers. They're signed and numbered here. This is the edition signed and numbered by Billy Tucci. Sorry about the focus. $64.95 cover price on that. And this is the Jim Lee edition. $75 cover price. I got a really good deal on them. I got them both for like 30 bucks, I think. I'm not going to take these out and show the signatures, but this is my Alan Moore's Light of Thy Countenance leather softcover. I guess leather hardcover, rather. But it's signed on the inside by Felipe Massafera and Alan Moore. Got that this year at Baltimore Comic Con. This is the Buffy the Vampire Slayer 1 per store hardcover. Reprints The Long Way Home, the first 6 or 7 issues. Really happy to have this. It's still in its original shrink wrap. This is the Walking Dead Volume 1 per store red foil variant hardcover. It's also known as the Thank You or Retailer's Appreciation Edition. And inside it has a signed thank you letter from Robert Kirkman and Tony Moore. So it's very cool to have that. This is Jim Steranko's Steranko Noir. I think this was 5,000 copies they did of this book, and they're all signed by Jim Steranko. It's a slipcase edition. Amazing, amazing book. Now I'm just going to show my slabs, and I'll try and get through that quick. I know my buddy Evan Lehigh just picked up one of these, and this is the Batman Birth of the Demon hardcover promo. As you can see, special promotional copy, not for sale. And I thought this was given away to DC employees, but actually Evan said it's a 1 per store. So it's still pretty rare. You don't see them too often. Not very expensive, just pretty rare. This is my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #2, first print, CGC'd at a 9/8 with off-white to white pages. Believe the print run on this was 10,000, but it's pretty hard to find first prints in high grade because of the paper quality and the magazine size. This is my Amazing Spider-Man 238, first Hobgoblin, and these are just really hard to find with the Lakeside tattoos still intact on the inside, and my copy has that. So that's Overstreet likes to say it doesn't make a difference, but everyone that buys that book asks for the tattoos, so it does make a difference in my opinion. This is the recalled variant edition to All-Star Batman and Robin #10, and this variant edition, only 700 of these made it to market. So Frank Quitely cover there. Got it back at a 9.6. This is the World War Hulk #1 Aspen variant by Michael Turner. And again, this was, I think, either 3,000 or 5,000 copies limited to. Got it back at a 9.8. It's a beautiful cover. This is the Transformers #0. It says Retailer Incentive Edition on here, but it's actually an RRP. It says cover RSA. So it's Retailer Summit Edition. And as you can see on the back here, if I can get some, there we go. Sorry about the glare, but Retailer Summit 2005, licensed by Hasbro in gold foil. It's a very cool cover. Next we have Spawn 150 sketch cover. Always show the front and back of this because it's beautiful. Front cover sketch by Todd McFarlane. Back cover sketch by Jim Lee. Absolutely love that book. Next we have, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Season 8, Number 1. This is the Dark Horse 100 promotional sketch cover. You had to get it off the website. And it's limited to 1,000 copies. I got a 9.6 on it. It's the Civil War Number 1 sketch variant. I believe this is a 175. Michael Turner sketch variant. Got it back at a 9.6. This is the final issue of Star Wars, issue 107. Got it back at a 9.0 with white pages. This is a low print run because it was getting canceled. Early Whilce Portacio art on that. This is the final issue of G.I. Joe, issue 155. Got a 9.2 with white pages on it. Again, low print run because it was being canceled. This one's hard to find. This is the Army of Darkness, Ashes to Ashes, Number 1. And this is the thank you 1 per store retailer variant. They sent them to every store. They messed up their orders, which was pretty much every store. But this one's kind of hard to find. Got a 9.6 on that. And last up, this is the 1 in 75, or it might be a 1 in 100, but I think it's 1 in 75. Sketch variant to Dark Tower Gunslingers Born, Number 5. And it's signature series by Peter David. And I got a 9.8. I actually bought this at a sale, but it's a 9.8 with white pages. But sorry this ran so long, Clint. Just got inspired by, once again, one of your great questions. Congratulations, my friend. Sorry it ran so long, everyone. Thank you for sitting through it, and thank you for your time. Take care of yourselves, your families, and each other, and enjoy your comic reading.